class we discussed about crystal. Now we are going to discuss about the crystal stability. Okay, right? And right. So what happens here is we have, due to change in temperature, okay, the frequency, okay, the frequency of the crystal, that is series, right? The series resonant frequency as well as the parallel resonant frequency, okay, right? They tend to change with temperature, right? And they also tended to change due to aging. Aging means time goes on, 1 year, 2 years, okay, right? Due to aging of the material, the frequency of the crystal tends to change. So first of all, temperature stability means it is if we change okay, if temperature changes, okay, by some delta degree centigrade, the corresponding change in the frequency, okay, frequency of the crystal, right, is considered. Means temperature stability is delta frequency by delta temperature, okay, right? Means per degree change in temperature, what is the change in the frequency, okay, right? And it is usually very low, 10 to 12 hertz in megahertz. Mega is, what is mega? Anybody answer? 10 to the power how much? Students?
6.
6.
Yes, very good. So mega is 10 to the power of 6. So 1 followed by 6 zeros, a very big number, right? So what happens is, suppose, okay, your resonant frequency is 1 megahertz. Okay, your resonant frequency is 1 megahertz. Then for 1 degree change in temperature, okay, right, the frequency changes only by very small value, that is 10 to 12, okay, right? So in 1,000,000,000, okay, this is a large number. Compared to that, the 10 or 12 is a very small number, so you can neglect, right? So for practical cases, this is, you can approximate it to be constant, not a big problem, okay, right? So what happens is, suppose your, if frequency changes, okay, let us see what happens if the frequency changes, okay, right? So what happens if the input frequency changes? So the timing of the circuit also changes, okay. Usually the RLC, resistor, inductor, capacitor, together they are used in timing circuits, okay. So the overall functionality of the circuit will be modified, okay. So it is important we consider the frequency, okay, uh, of the crystal to be stable, okay, right. It is important that the frequency of the crystal is maintained stable. Okay, so now what we have discussed is, due to temperature variation, okay, the uh, variation in frequency is very small, okay, right, and it is not, so it is an advantage in most of the cases. However, okay, if you consider some applications where even this is not acceptable, okay, even this small change we don't want, we want perfect, okay. For example, clocking applications, okay, you want your clock to give perfect time, right? You cannot even some 0.00001 second variation also you don't want, okay, right? Then for such applications, okay, this is one where you want perfect timing, okay, you want perfect timing. For such applications, okay, what people do is they put the crystal in a box which maintains constant temperature, okay, right? So it is like this. By changing temperature, the frequency of the crystal is changing. Okay, right? So what is the solution? What is the solution that we can have? Keep the temperature constant. Okay, maintain constant temperature. So frequency will not change, isn't it? Practical problem. Due to temperature, frequency changes. Okay, right? So how to keep frequency constant? Keep the temperature constant, frequency will be constant. Okay. How to keep the temperature constant? You can put the crystal in a box, okay, and maintaining the constant temperature of that box will maintain the constant temperature, okay, of the crystal, and that is how you can have the improved frequency stability. Okay, right? Then long-term stability, right? So what happens? Every material ages, okay, right? Every material, it ages, right? And due to aging, for example, you are wearing clothes, okay, right? What happens? A 10-year-old, for 10 years, you are wearing one cloth, okay, right? It will be more prone, it will be more damaged compared to a cloth which you are wearing only from 1 year, right? Okay. So that is due to aging. As time goes on, okay, as time goes on, the material properties, they tend to deteriorate. Okay, right? So now because of that, okay, because of that, the stability also, okay, is affected, and the value is 2 into 10 power minus 8 per year. Okay, right? So what happens? Due to aging, stability changes, and what is the rate at which the aging takes place? 2 into 10 power minus 8 per year. Okay, means the rate of aging is very less. Okay, right? So obviously, due to aging, the variation in the crystal stability will also be negligible. Okay, right? So first, temperature negligible. Second, long-term stability negligible. Next, short-term stability. Okay. Then what happens again is, with respect to time, okay, with respect to time, right, the frequency drifts. See, so far we discussed temperature aging. Now we are going into the drift in frequency with respect to time. Okay. So what happens is, as time goes on, okay, right, with it means you are using the crystal 1 year, 2 years, you have warranty, isn't it? Okay. You have, suppose you are buying one fridge, they will say warranty, 1 year warranty, whatever, 10-year warranty, whatever, right? Okay. So what happens as time goes on, your fridge, whatever you buy, okay, the performance is deteriorated. Okay. So similarly, for the crystal, as time goes on, okay, as time goes on, the frequency tends to drift. Okay. And it is in the order of 0.0001% per day. Okay. Less than 1 by 10 power 6, and it is 0.0001% per day, and this is very small. Okay, right? Means for 1,000 days, no, sorry, 10,000 days. Okay, 10,000 days means, is it nearly 3 years? Okay, nearly 3 years. The frequency will change by 1%. Okay, okay, fine. So even that is also negligible, right? So ultimately what we have seen, temperature Due to temperature, yes, frequency changes, but negligible. Okay. Long-term stability. The crystal ages with respect to time. Okay. And again, that is negligible. Short-term stability. Okay. What is the short-term stability? The frequency changes with respect to time, and that is also negligible. So all the cases we have considered negligible. So what we can conclude? We can conclude that overall crystal has good frequency stability. Okay. And because it has good frequency stability, it is used in computers, counters, okay, right, wristwatches, etc. So again, I'm telling what is the advantage. See, your computer is operating, right, at very high speed. Okay. Modern technology, right, I'm talking about at the research level, they are expecting that the switching element switches in microsecond or nanosecond. Okay, very high speed switching. So when the switching happens at very high speed, the clock signal, okay, usually we give clock signal for the timing, okay, to take care of the timing aspects of the circuit or to control the timing of the circuit. Okay. So the clock signal should be very precise. If the clock signal itself is fluctuating, okay, then what happens? The performance of the overall circuit will be affected, right? Okay. So what may happen? The switching may be delayed or it may become faster. Okay. And when you connect block by block, these errors they propagate and they affect the overall functioning. Okay. So because crystal has good frequency stability, as we have discussed, okay, it has all these applications, right? Any doubts so far? Is it clear? Students, any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Okay, right. Then, see, so far we discussed only about the crystal. Now we are going to discuss about the oscillator, okay, right? Crystal oscillator. Under that, the first category that we are going to discuss is the Pierce crystal oscillator. Okay. Now, before we go into the discussion of this Pierce crystal oscillator, once again, let us see the crystal characteristics. Okay. Now, I think I told you that the operating frequency, right, will be between Ws and Wp. Okay. So this is Ws, this is Wp. A simple, see again, X value negative, reactance value, okay? Reactance value negative means what? Reactance value positive means what? Negative reactance indicates capacitor or inductor, which one? Students, please answer. Very important. Then only we can understand the oscillator. Negative reactance indicates whether the component is a capacitor or an inductor. Okay, let me ask like this. Which one has negative reactance, a capacitor or inductor?
Capacitors.
Okay, capacitor. Very good. Can you justify your answer? Why? Anybody? Okay, your friend has given correct answer.
We'll always measure in microfarads capacitance.
My question is, reactance is negative for which now unit is okay. Whether it is micro, okay, whether it is pico, anyway, I am only considered about the sign. Okay, the sign, whether it is positive or negative. Okay, first of all, what is the impedance offered by a capacitor C? Impedance
1 by j
of,
omega.
1 by j omega c.
okay, 1 by j omega c. If you multiply this 1 by j omega c, multiply and divide with j, what we will get?
Minus j omega
Minus
c.
j by
Minus j by
J by omega c.
omega c.
minus, once again. Once again, please. I put,
Minus j by omega square c square.
no. Okay.
Minus
Again,
j by omega c.
minus j by omega c. Okay. What I'm trying to say is impedance offered by capacitor, it is 1 by j omega c or minus j by omega c. Both are same. Okay. This also we discussed in the previous class. Now tell me. Okay. Now impedance offered by inductor. What is that? Impedance offered by inductor.
J omega l.
Now tell me which one has positive sign, which one has negative sign.
Capacitor has negative sign. Inductor has positive sign.
Very good, correct answer. Okay, so here what I am trying to say is negative reactance. Okay, reactance means the coefficient of other than j. Okay, whatever you said, j omega l, remove the j, omega l is the reactance of the inductor. Okay, right? You said minus j by omega c, remove the j. Okay, if you remove the j, minus 1 by omega c, that is the reactance of the capacitor. So what I am trying to say is, this is the graph which we have discussed in the previous class. Negative reactance, as your friend has correctly said, negative reactance indicates capacitance, positive reactance indicates inductance. Okay, so here what we have, we can say, okay, so far the capacitor, or so far the crystal acts as capacitor. Now what we are trying to understand is, we are trying to understand whether the crystal is acting as an inductor or a capacitor. Okay, right? This is very, very important, because if it acts as an inductor, then what we can do? We can go to Hartley oscillator or crystal oscillator, remove inductor, put crystal, okay, and that will give oscillations, but it will give improved stability. Okay, just now we discussed stability, right? So that is what we are now trying to understand, whether the crystal will behave as an inductor or a capacitor. Okay. Now, so here I hope all of you are able to see my mouse. I am able to see my mouse moving. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Tell me here, in any of this region, okay, say my mouse is here. The crystal will act as a capacitor or an inductor. Please answer. Is it along?
Inductor.
Very good, inductor. Okay. If we operate the crystal here, it will, if we operate the crystal here, it will act as an inductor. Okay, very, very important point. Right? I told you WS, WP are very close, and the, okay, the oscillating frequency lies between WS and WP. Means the crystal will oscillate between these two. Okay. Between these two means obviously greater than omega s, less than omega p. This is omega p. This is omega s. Oscillating frequency lies between omega s and omega p means the crystal will oscillate at a frequency greater than omega s, less than omega p, somewhere here. For that frequency, the crystal will act as a capacitor or inductor. Please answer. Very, very important point. For such frequency, the capacitor will act as inductor or capacitor. Please answer.
Inductors.
Very good. It will act as inductor. Okay. Right. Means the final important conclusion is for which frequency we are oscillating. Okay, for which frequency we are oscillating, the crystal will now act as an inductor. Okay, right? So simple. The final conclusion from all the crystal that we have studied. Are Baba, your crystal will behave as an inductor. Okay. Now let us go to Colpitt's oscillator. Replace. Go to Colpitt's oscillator. How many capacitors Colpitt's oscillator has? How many capacitors? How many inductors? Colpitt's oscillator.
Capacitor, one inductor.
Very good. 2 capacitors, 1 inductor. Okay. That 1 inductor you can replace by what?
Crystal oscillator.
Very
Crystal oscillator.
You should say crystal. Okay. Right. That 1 inductor you will replace by crystal. Understood now? Don't say crystal oscillator. So far what we discussed is only crystal. Now we are going into crystal oscillator. First category, Pierce crystal oscillator. Okay. Here, simple. Take Colpitt's oscillator, right? And then Colpitt's oscillator, what Colpitt's oscillator has, as your friend has correctly said, Colpitt's oscillator has 2 capacitor, 1 inductor. That 1 inductor replaced by crystal, then it becomes Pierce crystal oscillator. Okay, right? Anyway, remaining circuit almost the same. See, from output, okay, Colpitt's oscillator, this diagram, this part was drawn here. It was drawn here, but connection is the same. Okay, connection is the same, means functionality is the same. Remaining circuit the same, but additionally, we are considering a radio frequency choke here. Okay, right? So what it does is it isolates the AC and the DC signal. Okay. We can also take in previous circuit we have taken resistor, but here we are taking inductor because the advantage is for inductor the losses will be less. Okay, losses will be less, and if we have less losses, then the gain will be higher. Okay, so for that advantage we are taking radio frequency choke. Radio frequency choke has very less inductive value. The radio frequency choke has less inductance value. Okay, right. Is it clear, students? Students,
Can you repeat it, sir?
yeah, sure. Okay. See, Pierce crystal oscillator. Pierce crystal oscillator. Similar to Colpitt's oscillator, what he is doing, he understood, okay, that crystal now behaves as inductor. So take the circuit of Colpitt's oscillator and replace, in Colpitt's oscillator we have inductor here. Replace the inductor by crystal, then it becomes Pierce crystal oscillator. Okay. And then remaining circuit is the same, but for improvement, they are considering a radio frequency choke. Here actually for the Colpitt's or Hartley oscillator, we are having resistor. Okay. But when we have a resistor creates losses. Due to resistor, we have power loss, right? Inductor, if the internal resistance is negligible, right? No power loss. Ideal case, inductor has no power loss. Okay, it stores energy, isn't it? So the advantage we will get is losses will be low. When the losses are low, the output will be higher. Okay. And radio frequency choke is an inductor and the value is less. Okay. So that is the difference between your Colpitts oscillator, Pierce crystal oscillator. Now all these are like buy one get one free. Okay, Colpitts, crystal, okay, Colpitts oscillator, Pierce crystal oscillator, Hartley oscillator, similar structure. Okay, one change, second change. So quickly you can practice all these circuits for your final exam. Is it clear now? Students?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, thank you. Okay, so again, same explanation, whatever I have told you. Another important point, okay? We have, see now actually we are using the crystal for high frequencies, okay, right? We are using the crystal for high frequencies for generation of high frequency signal, okay? Now, internally at high frequency, how many capacitances does the transistor have? Yes. Internally, a transistor has how many capacitance? High frequency model of transistor we have discussed. Okay. That time I told you, transistor has how many junctions? Within the transistor, how many junctions we have? NPN transistor, how many junctions?
Two.
Very good. Very good. So how many? Very good. Correct answer. How many capacitances internally a transistor has? How many junctions? So many capacitances. How many capacitances?
Two.
Two.
Very good. Okay. So another technique. Why do we need to use external capacitance? Already the junction of the transistor acts as capacitance. That itself we can use. Okay. So what? Another modification of the crystal oscillator is, forget about this left side circuit. We are discussing only transistor. Our syllabus is restricted to transistor. Okay. So forget about the left side circuit. Just focus on the right side circuit. Okay. Anyway, so here, what an important modification we can consider is, we need not use these two capacitors also. Okay. We need not use these two capacitors. We can make use of the internal capacitors of the transistor and still it will generate the oscillations. Okay, right? So here what will happen is, in addition to the internal capacitance, these capacitances, okay, will come into picture. This will also oscillate. This will also oscillate. Okay, but the frequency at which they oscillate will slightly differ. Okay, because the net capacitive effect here and the net capacitive effect here, they are different. Okay, so that's all about